Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, everybody. Today on the Dynamic Podcast, we are going to be talking about the differences and the importance of motivation versus discipline. Now, over this winter period, all three of us have seen some dips in motivation, whether it be showing up to a class or staying on track with nutrition, stuff like that. So we're here to go over our personal experiences with that, what the differences are, and how you can stay more locked in with the gym, fitness, and your overall health.
That was a good intro.
Bloody brilliant. So,
Without further ado,
Yes,
before we get into the theory side of things of what motivation is and discipline is, I want to hear from the two of yous, what's a moment in your own life, not a client's life, where you nearly gave up on something or you nearly quit, but you didn't? What was that one thing that kept you to keep going?
I have a good story for this.
Please.
I was 15. 16 actually. I was 16. I was benching 80 kilos. And I thought I was a hero at the time. So I was going for my second rep and I couldn't do it anymore. And the barbell was sort of angled like this, right? And I popped my shoulder. It was like a pretty bad injury. Anyways, went to the physio. He basically told me I should stop the gym for a few years and only get back into the gym at 18 because of how serious the injury was. And yeah, I was very demotivated at the time because I wanted to become jacked like Ziz at the time. And that's what kept me going. I turned back up the next day.
What kept you going?
What kept you going?
The fact that you wanted to look like Ziz overcame your injury.
Yes, at 16.
Okay, but you still.
I just started training legs.
Okay, so there's some. Okay, let's clear it up. Number one, you shouldn't train an injured muscle. If you pop your shoulder, don't train your shoulder. But like what Brendon said, he didn't take that as an excuse to go, all right, I'm just going to quit the gym completely. He was like, all right, this is time to focus on my lower body. This is time to focus on my abdominals.
I didn't take it as an excuse.
Yeah, so.
I decided, I can't train my shoulders anymore. So I stopped benching. I stopped doing any shoulder presses. And all I was doing at the time was back, buys, and legs.
And you say, guys, but Brendon doesn't have a little bird chest as of today. So there's always hope. Even though if you injured something, it doesn't mean it's going to be underdeveloped and bad forever.
I've got double Ds, cuz.
We got to check the Victoria's Secret the other day.
I got measured.
So Rianon,
38 centimeters in diameter.
give a story for the people of your own personal life where you felt like giving up, but you didn't.
The most recent scenario that I can think of was when I was doing my bodybuilding comp. Don't know how far back I can go in terms of memory, but it was probably the bodybuilding comp that it was maybe 4 weeks to go. Mm-hmm. And we went out with the boys. It was boys' night. Oh, just have a drink. It's fine. Just have a drink.
I probably shoved 5 beers in front of your face.
Double that. And then, yeah, I nearly cracked when the boys were like, just eat something. It's fine. Like, just call it your refeed day or whatever. And the one thing that kept me going was the finish line, or actually achieving said goal, which was stepping up on stage. So what got me over the line was just knowing that I had a job to do, which was finish the whole bodybuilding prep. Mm-hmm. With that in mind, it was definitely the hardest thing to do when you work with this guy 24/7 and every obstacle is shoved in your face.
All right, anyway.
Whenever I'd have chocolate, I'd like throw it out his mouth.
I do actually remember seeing that. We would chuck like a Cadbury chocolate around
He would chew it and moan in my ear as he had the chocolate.
This is so good, man.
Yeah,
You definitely want it. Wow.
Yes, that was probably the biggest.
I guess that kind of goes into the importance of aligning yourself with people who have a similar goal. Because we all have friends and family, especially, me and Ree and Brendon all coming from, I guess sort of like WOG families where the only way to show love and affection is eat, manja. Is it always like eat food? Like,
True.
It's never, oh, we love you. We're going to support your health journey by making you some healthy things, It's never that. It's like, oh, we love you. Here's 1,000 calories of lasagna in your face. So we all have those obstacles in front of us. And yeah, it does make sense to at least have maybe one person in your life that you can share those struggles with, you know? Well, it's like, I'm not going to give up on a diet because X hasn't given up on their diet. You know, usually having somebody like that, because I guess you can sort of relate to that because in your comp, you did have your brother coaching you.
I did, but
Yeah.
didn't have anyone. This is what I was going to actually
Yeah.
counteract with was, what about those people that are doing it on their own? What, like, for instance, myself, I didn't have anyone else around me doing a bodybuilding comp.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, what would you say to people that are doing it on their own?
Well, you weren't doing it on your own. You had your brother.
No, well,
I'm talking about, like, he was
they're
just talking
dieting.
about
They're dieting on their own. They're the only person in a calorie deficit.
Jules wasn't doing the diet with me. He was
Oh,
training.
you're saying to have a partner alongside.
And
I'm
this
I'm just going off.
this
what he
is sort
said.
of where we're going into this segment, because having a partner would be you feel motivated to keep dieting because somebody else is, but it takes discipline to be the only person dieting and actually still keep doing it for yourself, right? You're doing things for yourself's sake rather than the sole benefit of not benefit of others, but you're not doing it just because somebody else is. That's motivation, getting the only source of you doing something from somebody else.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that's the biggest difference between discipline and motivation.
Exactly.
Because you can be highly motivated with someone, but to be able to do all those other things on your own is all down to discipline.
Just do it.
Just do
So that kind of leads me into my second question. Is motivation like a real thing? Is it something that we actually have to develop, or is it just that feeling we get when we're doing something with someone or in a community like a group class?
I believe that the definition of motivation, comes from an endorphin rush. I don't know about you, but I know that when I train, I feel that endorphin rush and I feel 10 times more motivated to do whatever it is, whether that be work, whether that be seeing friends, like the motivation to go and see someone, or motivation to do some work, or the motivation to do that session the next day, changes when those endorphins rise.
I'd say like motivation is like having a fire under your ass that like burns and makes you go do the thing. Or like it's like an external thing that like gives you all this burst of energy to go and do it. We don't have to like master up some courage or force or anything to do it. Whereas discipline is doing it because you said last week you were going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I feel I kind of agree with Ree's response and your response quite a bit, with the fact that motivation is a very short-term thing and it's simply just a chemical process in your brain, right? It's basically just like you watch a video of somebody training or somebody who looks good on Instagram and you feel like, oh shit, I want to go train now. I want to go keep dieting. And then maybe 2 minutes later, you still find yourself scrolling the same algorithm on your phone. Right? It only lasts maybe like 1 minute of like a bit of dopamine and a bit of endorphin rush, and then it goes straight back down.
I agree.
Would we agree with that? Yeah. So
I agree.
it can be sustained given something like a group class where you might have like a rise and a drop. It's like, oh, we're working now. Oh, we're resting now. I feel like I want to give up. I want to go home. Oh, but everybody else is doing it. I'm going back up. There's always this up and down cycle. So that's why we talk about motivation being sort of just a chemical response in the brain. It's not very long term, and it's definitely not something we should rely on to start our fitness journey, because as it goes up and down in cycles, we'll never have a clear point of we're going to start. We've never had this long periodized state of motivation.
Do you believe that a lot of people get stuck with, like, they get stuck in that endorphin high? Not stuck. Let's just say, I'll give you an example. Someone makes an inquiry
Yeah.
off that endorphin rush, and then the next day they don't want to do it. What would you say to someone that goes through that whole experience of mustering up the courage to put an inquiry in and say, yes, I actually want to start PT, and then the next day falling off?
So to someone who is, they put in that initial burst of effort and they want to go. That's sort of why as coaches, we try to nip things in the butt very quick. Like when we sign someone on, we want to get their meal plan set up quite fast and everything set up quite fast before they drop off, because I feel like the only thing that changes is you start thinking to yourself in that time period between that initial burst of motivation and then giving up into what could go wrong? What if this doesn't work out? I think a lot of people like to think of the negatives.
Yeah, the overthink.
I see this a lot, especially in my own family. You know, oh, don't go on that trip. What if you get lost in the woods? What if you die? Not, what if you see the best view of your entire life? What if you go have the best trip and experience of your life? It's the same thing in the gym. It's like, okay, you could either fail and lose 0 kg, or you can listen to your coach, take it seriously, and get the best result of your entire life and look the best you ever have, even better than you did when you were a teenager.
Yeah, and take a lot more on board than you ever thought you would have learned
Exactly.
on your own. Because you're getting someone teaching you through that whole process. But yeah, what do you think?
I think that every human out there, especially the people watching this podcast, should achieve their maximum potential.
Care to explain what your definition of maximal potential is for the people that may not know? Maximal potential. You know?
So like the absolute maximum potential in their strength, their physique, their mindset, like the all-encompassing traits that a PT will teach you about, just achieve 100% for your age group.
So lifestyle maxing.
Yeah, that.
Okay, so what? I guess if you're trying to achieve that as a person, we're kind of going off the course of motivation here, but this is where I want to segue the podcast
host.
into.
It's good host.
Thinking of it from a viewer's perspective, right? Kind of going off the course of motivation, but I guess our motivation as individuals, you know, obviously when you're starting off, you're not trying to become most optimal in everything, but we've been training for so long. You know, we sort of mastered the form. We've mastered showing up to the gym. We actually like showing up to the gym now. All of that. So I guess us three as individuals or intermediate lifters, we're trying to optimize other parts of our life. So I'd ask, what would an optimal, max potential life look like to you? Would that just be like optimizing sleep, optimizing training, and then, you know, describe what would optimal sleep be like?
Well, I'm a 27-year-old male, so I would say getting to around a 10 to 15% body fat percentage. That would be the ideal range that you kind of want to be at. Having enough muscle mass where you've got, I guess it's very hard to measure because it kind of depends on your weight and your height and whatnot. But for me, like I'm aiming to get around 45 kilos of lean muscle mass for an 80 kilo frame. So that's around 50%? Yep.
Yeah.
Just over 50%. Then I'd want to be looking at attending the gym or doing some type of activity every single day for around 45 minutes.
What does that mean? Just like physical activity?
Physical activity could be, you know, training in the gym, like a strength workout.
Yep.
Could be going for a run. Could be going for a walk. Could be jumping on the bike. Could be getting a pogo stick and jumping up and down for 45 minutes.
Okay.
So any type of physical activity.
Why do you want to maximize potential? Why is this important to you?
Because I feel like this is obviously very physical, like it's a very physical dominant goal, and it's all about physique and your sleep and your activity and gym and how you look and feel. But I feel like those things, when you put them all together, affect every other part of your life as well. It affects your career. I feel like it affects your confidence, especially when you walk into a room, when you speak to others. How you feel inside your body and how you look carries out with how you interact with everyone in your life.
So do you feel like optimizing yourself physically is the key to success financially and just in your entire life as well? Socially,
financially, mentally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I feel like people that don't work on themselves in the physical aspect, in the physical department, like with how they look, how they feel, end up being stressed out about how they look and feel every single day. Like it's very common when you speak to new clients or the average Joe Blow, that they're not happy with the reflection they see in the mirror.
Yeah. So you feel like once that weight is lifted off their shoulders, they're able to put more
It
effort.
takes one less stress off their shoulder, you know?
Yeah. Less stress in the physical and how it looks side of things. And then they have to stop worrying about, oh, I have to look perfect before I show up to work, and actually they can get more work done and be
They're more content.
Do you see that in a lot of your clients?
I definitely do. So I'd say when I see, and this is a process that takes years. From what I've seen and what I've experienced, it's something that clients take years to get to. And it took me, a decade to get to that stage where I started becoming more content and happy with how I felt, how I looked, how strong I was, how physically competent I was. When I see clients get to that stage, I start noticing that they stress less about what they're doing because it's just part of their new life and part of who they are. So it's less of, when you're first starting something new, you have to always think about it. Like, oh shit, I have to track my calories. I have to book in my gym session. If it's part of your life already, then it's less mental load that you have to think about. So now
it's just sort of like breathing to you.
It's you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll transfer this question to Ree. If someone wants to get to that state where now they're physically fit and they feel comfortable and they're successful in all other areas of their life, and it takes years to do, what do they need to get in place, or what do they need to be doing each and every month or each and every week to keep on track to actually get to that point?
Well, this is kind of where the personal training side of us would step in and be like, let's look at your week. Let's see what you're currently doing. Let's see if you are walking enough. Let's see what you're eating. I want to see if you're training. Are you moving enough? So diving into those sort of things as a PT, not only as a PT, but also as just a regular human, as Brendon mentioned before, those things of appearance and socioeconomic status and also emotionally how you feel is all depicted by how routined you are. If you've got a good schedule, you've got a good calendar, you've got your routine down pat, and you've got all these fillers in place for your day, there shouldn't be a week or a month or a year for that matter that would feel off because you have been so regimented from the day you said you wanted to start.
Is that something that you've done personally to become more routine and more on track in your life?
I'd say it's definitely something that it's a continuous thing that you're trying to improve. The waking up at a singular time is something that I've prided myself on. Yes, there has been times, I know Brendon's probably going to bring it up, where I have slept in.
Yeah, I slept in a few times.
Thank you, there it is. But majority of the time, when I say I'm going to be there at a certain time, I'm going to be there at a certain time. But 4 a.m. has been that time that I'm continuously getting up. Even if I start late, that's the time that I'm up. I may have a shower, whatever, that's consistent. In terms of the eating, in terms of the training, the things that you're going to experience that will be a bit more of a roller coaster, because there are times, unless you're Brendon, where there's peaks and falls of motivation. Mm-hmm. And it sometimes takes that discipline in order for you to fulfill those other factors that Brendon mentioned before.
Right, because we all have those days where, something really shitty happens, It could even be as bad as maybe somebody passing away in your family, and then you having to be like, shit, well, now I got to do all this and do all that. And it's almost hard to stay on track in times like that. Have you guys ever had a day like that where something really fucking shitty happened and it's like, okay, how do I bounce back from this? How do I get out of this slump or this hole or this sadness or depression or whatever and get back into what I have to do to become the best version of myself?
Weirdly enough, I've always felt better when I've trained.
In those times, 100%, doing some sort of activity, training or walking or doing some sort of physical activity. Can you agree on that with me? Or does it have to be training?
No, it doesn't have to be training.
Yeah.
But like me personally, if I'm talking
Yeah.
about from my own personal
Yeah.
experience,
Training.
I've always felt better training,
Yeah.
but it's not something I always can do in those moments. So there's been times where I haven't
Need to
had
grieve.
I
or
need
whatever happened.
need to grieve whatever it is, and I haven't had the opportunity to actually step in the gym. But the times that I have, I've always felt better for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gust of the second gust of wind. It's like when you're going for a run and you get that second burst of energy just to go for the next kilometer. It's kind of like that. You're kind of going down a slump. You're getting a little bit more tired, and bang, this gust of energy comes for that next 2, 3, 4 Ks. It's kind of similar to that. I'm just trying to give an analogy for people to understand. But yeah, when you are in those slumps, the only thing that you should be thinking about is obviously grieving, one, if you are going through a rough time and dealing with it, and also just moving your body physically. Because again, it comes down to a chemical compound, you increasing your endorphins and your dopamine through training or through physical activity has been shown to give you better benefits overall.
I also have a bit of a different, maybe even a slightly harsher take on that reality.
What's your take on it?
My take is that when something like that happens to me, this could even be outside of the gym. Something doesn't go my way. Let's say you get show up to the airport, you're late for a flight. First of all, what can you do about it? And second of all, what is being sad or upset going to do to benefit you? At the end of the day, sometimes we do, as you guys said, need to be sad or upset sometimes. But staying like that for the next week, not showing up to the gym and stuff like that, it's not going to do you any good. So sometimes, well, most actually all the time, it's when something like that happens to me, I think about what is me doing X, either being in a slump or slumping around, going to do to help me get to here. You know, I often ask myself this when I'm stuck in my room scrolling Instagram Reels. I'm like, what is scrolling Reels going to do right now to help me be a successful fitness coach? Absolutely jack nothing. So I get my ass up and I go get some work done. So I would implore, if you're in a hard time or something, be like, what is me binge eating out of the pantry now just because I'm sad going to do for my weight loss? If the answer's nothing, I would suggest go change it.
So,
It's always going to make someone feel better.
oh no, I'm not disagreeing.
Everyone kind of knows this. We don't have to actually physically say it. But no matter who you meet or how many clients all of us have seen and served in our time as PTs, does every client not say that they feel better after a training session?
Oh yeah, Stephen. Every time he walks in, oh, I'm tired. Walks out, fuck, I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
Every single client.
Every
but
time he trains, he goes, I always feel good after a training
not
session.
every client loves training, obviously. But when they start training, they always feel better afterwards.
Everybody loves the feeling post-training. Nobody likes the feeling in training. I even saw this a little while ago when we're talking about like getting through the hard times. I don't know if you guys saw online Jeff Nippard, that his wife passed away.
Yep.
See that? If you guys don't know who Jeff Nippard is, it's like a very probably maybe the biggest
One of
fitness creators at the moment.
He's my dad.
His whole thing was posting on social media, making educational content. We just saw that disappear for like 4 months. But he was still keeping up things in the back end of lifting and training to keep some sort of routine in his life. And he also thought about the fact that it's what that person would have wanted them to do. You know, I didn't think anybody who's ever passed away would be like, I really wish everybody would just be sad for the next 10 days and
not do anything.
Yeah, and not do anything and just have like be miserable. What do you think they would be like? Oh, I really wish they would use this as a catalyst to go, you know,
And
do
nothing.
something, be healthy, live a long, great life.
See,
100%.
a lot of people would hear that approach, and that there's probably going to be people watching this and hearing that approach and saying like, "Oh, you're insensitive." How dare you?
That's the thing about having an opinion, you know. Not everybody's going to
100%.
agree with it.
Yeah, but like, you know what it is though? What would you want this is a question actually. What would you want your sister to do if you died before her?
Live. live
would.
long, live prosperous. I
You
even
wanted to
told,
hit the gyms. You
I told my friends, I'm like, when I die, if you guys aren't playing like the most upbeat, lively music at my funeral, I'm going to be pretty, I would be upset. You might see some furniture start moving.
Yeah, but you want them to live a good and happy life, right?
Of course.
You don't want them to be sad and
You don't-
upset,
if there's
which is obviously you can't stop that from happening if their close family and friends
Yeah.
are going to be upset by the
But
fact that you're
if they're
gone.
truly loved ones and you love them, you want them to live long. You want them to live prosperous. You want them to have a successful, enriching, fulfilling lives.
And going down the path of not training, not focus on your eating, not focus on your health, it's if you do that for a long enough period of time, it becomes a new habit and it becomes hard to break that. That's the point we're trying to make.
Exactly.
I've got a question for you. For the people that are currently in a 9-to-5 job or shift work or some sort of job that keeps them so solidified in their hours,
Like a cubicle.
sure, like a cubicle, what would you say to them to maybe spark some sort of motivation for them to make them go, okay, this is actually what I need to do, not, I need to do this actually right now
The fitness side of things.
in terms of just health and fitness for longevity in general?
Well, I've actually seen this in many successful people that I sort of look up to. They have that sort of lifestyle where they sit down into one spot and they have to work for multiple hours on end and they can't move. It's actually the people I try to target on Instagram. And the thing about it is, I think realizing that fitness is a thing you have to do is realizing where sitting at a desk all day for the rest of your life and doing nothing outside of that ends you up. Most people who get admitted into retirement or elderly homes lack the lower body strength to do a half squat and get off the toilet. Therefore, they have to be nursed and helped going to the bathroom.
Amen.
If you're sitting all day and you're not training your legs, that is going to be you. If you're sitting all day at a desk, you're going to develop chronic back posture. You're going to be, when you go to the shopping center and you see those old ladies with the big hunched back and they're rolling over and they're pushing a little shopping cart, that's going to be you. Anybody who's obese or overweight, that is also going to be you. If there is no physical activity outside of your life, all you do is wake up, scoff a croissant, then head off to work with your big sugar-filled coffee, sit down at a desk for 8 hours, go home, have a reasonable meal,
Doom scroll.
then
Netflix.
then Netflix and watch Love Island slop with your besties, and then sleep 4 hours and repeat the same thing for the next week.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to end up the person that all your loved ones wish you're going to be, or
yeah.
you're gonna and that you want to be, or are you going to be that fat, elderly, hunched, maybe not even elderly? I mean, shit, I don't wish that on anybody, but if you do have bad habits like that, most likely you will not live as long as you want to live.
Yeah.
So they should actually think about the people they've lost in their life and think about what they would want for them.
I think about it all the time. My grandmother died before I was even born. I'm pretty sure it was breast cancer, but probably from a long lineage of smokers in my age. Therefore, I vowed ever since I was a little child that I will never smoke. I will never vape. I will never smoke weed.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've admitted to myself. So I even ask in the business side of things to like clients who are older than me, if you were my age and you could do it all over again, what would you do, like money-wise? And people tell me to travel. Guess what I'm doing this year? I'm going to go travel. I'm always trying to look at the experiences of people to sort of guide and change where I need to be going in my sense of direction.
That's a very unique way to look at things. How would you teach someone to start thinking like that if they were in a similar position to you?
Kind of similar to think about where it's going to lead you at the end of it.
So there's actually a member that I have a conversation with about this same topic every single time we do PT. And she mentioned to me the other day one of her friends had been diagnosed with osteoporosis in her hands and her knees. And she's been telling her for a little while to come and train. Just do some movement, prior to her actually getting the diagnosis. Then she got the diagnosis, and that was the catalyst for her starting some sort of physiotherapy.
I see where it's going.
And her thing has been, if I do something for myself now, my 80, 85, 90-year-old self is going to thank me for it.
Exactly.
You always have to think of what your future self would thank you for if you do something right now.
And I guess piggybacking off what Ree said, also don't wait for things to get worse before you start taking action.
Yeah.
Like the friend in this story, right? She waited until she got osteoporosis in her, what was it, her knees?
I can't really remember the story, but
In her joints, and then started the strength train.
just don't let that be the catalyst. Don't let the
Yeah.
catalyst be something so severe that you need to make that sudden change now. Because that's what a lot of people wait for, is that brick wall in front of them for them to either go,
I'm gonna
I'll go
wait till my
over it.
girlfriend breaks up with me until I start to get fit, and then I'm gonna show her.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a classic example.
That's
that
a classic example. But
but then counterpoint to that, right?
yeah.
Why would a 20 to 30-year-old young fit male care about 60-year-old female problems?
I'm not saying that they should,
Human problems.
but the
Human
human
problems, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what age you are.
Then why would it's 40 years away, right? Like if you're in the mindset of a 20-year-old, like male or female, let's say 20-year-old male or female, you hear about all these things happening to people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, low mobility patterns, walkers, wheelchairs, nursing homes, now osteoporosis. Why would a 20-year-old person care or have that as the reason? Because it's 40 years away. Why would that?
Exactly. Just kick your feet up now until you're 40. As soon as you turn 40, start doing something then.
60, you mean? I said 40 years.
Sorry. As soon as you turn 60, then start doing something.
I mean, ever since me and my friends were, not young, maybe like even as I was like early as like 4 years ago, I've always talked about the fact that we look at our own parents a lot of times and we go, oh, when we're older, we want to be able to play with our kids and stuff like that. Unlike what our parents would have done. I guess all of our parents sort of came from a generation where going to the gym was not the norm. Not very normalized as it is today. And then therefore, most of the childhood is, let's not go out and play, or let's go out for a big walk. It's like, oh, staying at home today, play some video games or stuff like that. So, for me personally, as a young person, I'm even training my lower back now because I see so many people walk into the gym with like, oh, my back's in shambles, mate. Can't do that. Not going to happen. And I want to be able to run around, play with my kids that I want to have in the future, stuff like that. And I want to be fit and I want to be an example for them. If I don't start that now, I doubt I'm going to have the motivation when I'm 30 or 40. And life is only going to get busier. A lot of things, another source of motivation or discipline that we hear is that, oh, I can't train because I'm too busy. I'm going to let you guys in on something. The amount of calls these boys make a day, and it's like, hey, did you inquire to the gym? Yeah, I'm just too busy right now. It's insane. I
love that excuse.
I see about 100 people minimum on social media each day who post their lives of working 12-hour FIFO work and then have to go and still find a way to train and still prep and bring it to work at a fucking oil rig. Mate, you work in the city next to a fucking shopping centre. You do not have an excuse.
Oh, wait, with 100 gyms around the corner.
With 100 gyms around the corner and the minimum entry fee is $20 a week. You do not have an excuse. I don't care who you are. There is somebody who's your exact age, your exact problems, your exact race, gender, whatever, who has worse problems than you and is doing better than you in life, physically, financially, whatever. Are they doing it because, I don't know, this is a different person? No, they have it tougher than you, so why aren't you doing better?
And it's not rocket science. I think a lot of people think it is. Or mentally they go, oh, let me put that guard up. Yeah, it's too hard. Let me put that guard up.
Yeah.
Would you
boys ever do a gym if you do this side of the gym, own a gym, if you didn't see somebody in a worse off situation get successful at it?
No.
I mean, I can think of one off the top of my head, like Hormozy, who
Sleeping
literally
on
had to sleep in
couches
his
and-
gym and was so far in debt, and now he's where he is and he's huge.
We slept here a couple of times.
That's what I mean. If you
It's
didn't,
fun.
if somebody didn't show you it was possible, would you have done it?
Well, I guess having the knowledge that it's been done before gives you more confidence.
Exactly.
But then also
Being
running any type of business doesn't have to be just a gym, but running any type of business, no one goes into it with, oh, this is going to be easy.
Exactly.
Everyone knows it's going to be a very hard.
But they know. But they
thing
know
to
it's
do.
possible.
Yes,
Right? That's
they know
the
it's
whole.
possible,
That's the whole
yeah.
reason we post before and afters. Yes, it's good social proof, but it also shows people who want to get healthy and want to come here that it's possible.
That's possible.
That
to
we've
do.
had 10, 20, 30 people in their exact same scenario, a mum, a single mum, a dad working at an office all day, that they can get fit, that they can get to that 10% body fat.
100%.
So
And
I guess
one big thing,
okay.
and this is a big question I want to ask both of you, is especially when clients first start up with us, one big thing that they always say is, you know, I've never achieved good results because it's all too hard. The tracking of the calories, the turning up to the gym, the pushing heavier weights. What do you think it's a knowledge barrier for them?
No, I
Or
just
do you
think it's not for them. At the end of the day, if you're not willing to push yourself hard and do the things that make you uncomfortable and, you know, step outside of that zone where it's like, oh, this is not easy, then you're not meant to be healthy. I've made a whole post about this on my page where I'm like, some people don't deserve to be fit. If they're not willing to put in the work it takes to get there, you don't deserve to look it. At the end of the day, it's as simple as that. That's like saying,
Bro,
like,
I fuck with that so hard.
bro,
It's
that-
so true.
That's like saying, oh, I want to be rich, but you're not willing to work more than 6 hours a day. The fuck did you want to do? Gamble it? Do you want to get a loan for $250K and then make $500,000? Sorry, it's called fucking life. I'm sorry a 20-year-old had to tell you this, but like it doesn't work out that easy. You have to do hard shit to get the results that not everybody has. If you want to look like 10% of the population, you have to work like 10% of the population. You can't work like fucking 90% of them who go, I can't believe she married him.
Yeah. I fuck with that hard.
What?
But that's that mentality is
So again,
rare.
do you think it's a knowledge thing or just a laziness
It
thing?
is a knowledge thing. Look, if somebody wants it, it's both.
It's both. It's a mixture of both.
You need a coach because at the end of the day, a coach needs to be able to guide a person who doesn't know where to go and wants to get somewhere into how to do it. I'll give a very good example of Marcus, who I just signed up. He didn't really know about nutrition tracking or anything like that, but he really wanted to learn. He really wants to know, how do I get better? How do I do this? And is willing to come into the gym on a day where we don't have PT and have me help him out a little bit and go over exercises and how to track and learn and listen and then incorporate. That is somebody who's going to make successful results. And then if there's a problem, we work around it, right? So I think you need to be willing to learn and you want to know where you want to end up. And you can't be making excuses for yourself. I think if you have those three things, there is nothing stopping you from being successful in the gym or any other aspect of life.
I think you missed one, and I think it's the acceptance of change as well.
Yes.
Acceptance of change is huge. Like, you have to put yourself in that person's shoes. He got to the point where he needed a personal trainer. If from that point you decide to invest that sort of money into a coach, you're not just going to piss that money away.
Oh, exactly.
You're going to need to change physically, mentally, emotionally. Your lifestyle has to do a complete 360, not instantaneously, but over the course of
course, yeah, over time.
of time.
Yeah, and I think the whole
Going from
reason
a caterpillar to a butterfly.
and the whole
Doesn't
reason
just go there. Doesn't just go caterpillar, butterfly. There's a
Yeah.
whole life cycle behind
there's a life
that.
cycle. And the reason we have these results and these successes that we do is because I think personally that we charge a little more. I don't know if you've ever heard the stat, but most commercial gyms make the majority of their money from the people who don't show up to the gym.
Yes,
I think
I
it's
did
around
hear that stat.
65%.
Yeah, 65 to
65% of Anytime Fitness members or whatever commercial gym, insert X commercial gym, don't show up to the gym. So they're all paying though. So if you, let's say, instead of paying $20, you had to pay $200 a week to go to the gym, right? Do you think you would show up or you think you'd stay home? Yeah. This is a hypothetical question. If you think you're staying home, mate, I would have loved to be in your financial position if I could piss out $200 a week. I'm not there. I'm too fucking stingy. I'm going to be coming to the gym every waking second of my life. $200. So that's what I mean. I think that financial aspect also incentivizes somebody to have discipline and
like
show up.
It's like a financial incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah, financially incentivizing yourself to be locked in.
Yeah.
And
Exactly,
there's multiple methods that you can do with that, right? Like that's one way where you're financially like tying yourself to the gym, so it forces you to actually do that. Another way could be setting up a service with Woolies that they send you groceries every week, so you can't actually go to Woolies yourself and pick out groceries. You've already got
That's a good one.
Sort of like system already running.
Yeah, I've actually, and I mean, similar to that, I've put a lot of people onto just the meal delivery services like Papa Macros and stuff like that, where they just drop the meals at your door every week and like, there you go, eat it. It tastes really good.
Less
actually.
chance for you to
I like that brand.
When you do that,
You
you
should affiliate with them.
Papa Macros, if you're out there watching, we want to collab.
hit him up.
Like, they actually taste good, man.
I
tell clients that eat that all the time, like, hey, you can't be asked to cook. Look, I know it's a hard thing to incorporate into your life. I would usually just say suck it up, but there are options like that out there if you're willing to spend the extra money.
And the macros are accurate as well.
Yeah.
There was a guy that did a test on one of them. Anyway, I'm deviating, but
Picked
he
out
did
every gram of chicken.
He picked out every gram of chicken.
Let's stop
It was-
sucking Papa Macros.
Oh, sorry.
Fropping cock.
I'm gonna put a little video together for him and send it to him.
So it's official. We need to tell the people that if you want to become healthy, you actually need to become healthy.
Yeah, so to sum it up in one sentence, I guess, what would you leave the viewers or that one person who keeps having a binge weekend and saying they'll start on Monday with?
If you want to be healthy, you have to want to be healthy.
And if you want to be healthy, you have to accept that you need to change. Because none of that is going to work unless you change.
Okay.
And start lifestyle maxing.
You heard it here first. From the dynamic.
I got two sentences. Embrace change and then shut the fuck up and do it.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.